The doctor's voice echoed in Harold's ears, a broken record of good intentions gone awry. Eat more greens, Harold. More greens. And Harold, a picture of diligent health, had obeyed. He'd practically turned himself into a walking, talking salad bar. Yet here he was, slumped in another uncomfortable ER chair, the blood pressure monitor flashing numbers that screamed rebellion. 160/95, sometimes even higher. At 72, Harold felt like his body was betraying him, despite his unwavering commitment to doing everything right. Harold's life was a testament to clean living. He was the poster child for active aging. Morning walks were as routine as brushing his teeth. Fast food was a distant memory, replaced by carefully curated meals packed with nutrients. Soda. Never touched the stuff. He was surrounded by friends who popped pills like candy, their diets consisting mainly of takeout and processed snacks. They marveled at Harold's dedication, often joking that he'd live forever. Yet they weren't the ones facing hypertensive crises. They weren't swallowing a cocktail of medications that made him feel sluggish and drained. "I just don't understand it," he'd grumbled to his doctor, Dr. Lee, her name tag gleaming under the fluorescent lights. "I'm eating clean. I've cut out salt. I don't drink. So why is this happening?" Dr. Lee, a kind woman with tired eyes, would adjust her glasses and offer another polite smile. "Sometimes, Harold, these things just happen. We'll adjust your medication." Adjust. Another pill. Another side effect. Harold was beginning to feel like a human chemistry experiment. He started keeping a food journal meticulous in its detail. Every ingredient, every calorie, every supposed health benefit meticulously logged. He hoped to find some glaring error, some hidden transgression against the gospel of healthy eating. He showed it to his daughter Sarah, a registered nurse. She scanned the pages with a practiced eye, nodding approvingly. "Dad, this is fantastic. You're eating exactly what you should be." Harold sighed. "Then why am I still ending up in the emergency room?" His journal read like a textbook on healthy eating. Morning. Smoothie with a handful of spinach, half a banana, and almond milk. Lunch. Beet salad with cottage cheese and whole wheat toast. Dinner. Grilled chicken, steamed broccoli, and brown rice. Sarah patted his hand. "Maybe it's just age, Dad. Sometimes bodies just break down." But Harold refused to accept that. He felt a nagging intuition that something was amiss. He wasn't ready to surrender to the inevitability of aging. There had to be an explanation, a missing piece of the puzzle. The answer, as it often does, came unexpectedly. He was idly flipping through his food journal one evening, a glass of water, and his blood pressure monitor, his only companions. As he scanned the pages, a pattern began to emerge, a faint but persistent correlation he couldn't ignore. His blood pressure spikes seemed to coincide with his vegetable-heavy meals, particularly those featuring his beloved green smoothies and beet salads. At first, he dismissed it as a mere coincidence, statistical noise in the vast ocean of his dietary data. But the more he looked, the more convinced he became. There was a connection. Curiosity, that insatiable human drive, got the better of him. He reached for his laptop, his fingers trembling slightly. He typed a simple question into the search bar: "Can vegetables raise blood pressure?" The internet, that vast repository of human knowledge and misinformation, delivered a deluge of articles, blog posts, and forum discussions. He sifted through the noise, searching for credible sources for scientific backing, and then he found it. Articles mentioning oxalates, naturally occurring compounds found in many plants, particularly certain vegetables. He read with growing fascination and a dawning sense of understanding. Oxalates, he learned, bind to calcium and magnesium in the body, preventing their absorption. They can irritate blood vessels and kidneys. And for people who are sensitive, they can contribute to inflammation and, yes, even raise blood pressure. The list of high oxalate vegetables read like a list of Harold's dietary staples: spinach, beets, Swiss chard, even sweet potatoes. He felt a mixture of disbelief and vindication. He wasn't crazy. He wasn't imagining things. His healthy diet was in fact contributing to his health problems. It suddenly clicked. His low-sodium, low-fat diet, while generally beneficial, was also depriving his body of essential minerals. The oxalates were further depleting his calcium and magnesium levels, creating a perfect storm for high blood pressure. Harold wasn't eating bad food. He was overloading on the wrong vegetables, the wrong nutrients for his unique body and its specific needs. It was a humbling realization, a stark reminder that nutrition isn't a one-size-fits-all prescription. He didn't panic. Years of disciplined living had instilled in him a sense of calm and control. He approached the problem with the same methodical approach he used to manage his finances or plan his garden. He adjusted. He replaced his high oxalate greens with low oxalate alternatives: romaine lettuce, Napa cabbage, zucchini, and cucumbers. He steamed or boiled most of his vegetables instead of blending them raw, a cooking method known to reduce oxalate levels. He even dared to add back a pinch of sea salt rich in trace minerals, a practice he had religiously avoided for years. He also made a conscious effort to include more magnesium-rich foods in his diet, such as pumpkin seeds and avocado. Within 10 days, he noticed a change. His energy levels soared. The persistent headaches that had plagued him for months began to dissipate. And most importantly, his blood pressure started to drop. He diligently tracked his progress, documenting his food intake and blood pressure readings in his journal. He was a scientist in his own personal laboratory, experimenting with his own body, seeking the optimal formula for health and well-being. His next appointment with Dr. Lee was a revelation. He walked into her office not with the slumped shoulders of a defeated patient, but with the confident stride of a man who had taken control of his health. He presented her with his food journal, his blood pressure logs, and a detailed explanation of his dietary adjustments. Dr. Lee, initially skeptical, examined the data with growing interest. She looked up at Harold, her eyes wide with surprise. "You're the first patient I've ever seen lower their blood pressure by cutting back on greens." Harold grinned a genuine, unburdened smile. "Not all greens are created equal, doctor. Not all healthy food is healthy for everyone." He continued his modified diet, fine-tuning it as he learned more about his body's needs. Here's what a typical day looked like for Harold post-oxalate revelation. Morning. Warm water with lemon and a pinch of sea salt, followed by scrambled eggs with zucchini and herbs. A green smoothie made with romaine lettuce, cucumber, and frozen blueberries completed his breakfast. Lunch. Sardine or tuna salad with avocado and lettuce accompanied by a handful of pumpkin seeds or walnuts. He enjoyed herbal tea, often hibiscus or dandelion root instead of sugary drinks. Dinner. Steamed chicken or salmon, stir-fried Napa cabbage and carrots, and cooked quinoa, or a small rotated serving of sweet potato. Before bed, a warm bath with Epsom salt, rich in magnesium, or a simple foot soak, followed by 10 minutes of deep breathing to relax the nervous system. Harold became a beacon of hope an inspiration in his local support group for seniors. He shared his story, emphasizing the importance of personalized nutrition and the power of listening to one's body. Just because it's a vegetable, he'd say, his voice resonating with conviction, doesn't mean it's automatically good for your body. He still ate greens, of course, but he was now mindful of the types he consumed and the way he prepared them. He no longer feared salt, but respected the importance of balance. And most of all, he learned to listen to what his blood pressure was trying to tell him, not through fear, but through awareness. Harold's transformation wasn't just about lowering his blood pressure. It was about reclaiming his health, his energy, and his sense of control over his life. He felt younger, stronger, and more vibrant than he had in years. He rediscovered his passion for gardening, cultivating a thriving vegetable patch filled with low-oxalate greens and herbs. He started taking ballroom dancing lessons, surprising himself and his friends with his newfound agility and grace. He even started dating again. He met a lovely woman named Eleanor at his support group, a fellow health enthusiast with a contagious laugh and a shared appreciation for the importance of personalized nutrition. They bonded over their experiences with navigating the complexities of aging and their commitment to living life to the fullest. His experience taught him valuable lessons about the limitations of generic health advice and the importance of individual experimentation. He learned that healthy eating isn't a fixed destination, but a continuous journey of self-discovery and adaptation. His story spread beyond his local community. He was invited to speak at health conferences and interviewed for articles in health magazines. He became an advocate for personalized nutrition, urging people to question conventional wisdom and listen to their bodies. He emphasized that everyone is different, with unique genetic predispositions, metabolic rates, and sensitivities. What works for one person may not work for another. It's crucial to pay attention to individual responses to different foods and to adjust one's diet accordingly. Harold's journey also highlighted the importance of mineral balance. He stressed the need to consume a variety of nutrient-rich foods to ensure adequate intake of essential minerals, particularly calcium and magnesium. He also advocated for the responsible use of supplements, especially for individuals with specific deficiencies or dietary restrictions. He cautioned against blindly following dietary trends or adhering to rigid rules without considering individual needs and circumstances. He emphasized the importance of working with healthcare professionals such as registered dietitians or functional medicine doctors to develop personalized nutrition plans. He also learned the importance of cooking methods. He discovered that steaming and boiling vegetables can significantly reduce their oxalate content, making them more tolerable for sensitive individuals. He also experimented with different culinary techniques to enhance the flavor and digestibility of his food. Harold's transformation wasn't just about changing his diet. It was about adopting a holistic approach to health and well-being. He incorporated regular exercise stress management techniques and mindfulness practices into his daily routine. He prioritized sleep, spending time in nature, and nurturing his social connections. He realized that true health isn't just about the absence of disease. It's about thriving, about living with vitality, purpose, and joy. It's about embracing life to the fullest at every age and stage. He became a living testament to the power of resilience, adaptation, and self-discovery. He showed that it's never too late to take control of one's health and to live a life of vibrant well-being. Harold's blood pressure remained stable comfortably within the healthy range. He reduced his medication dosage with Dr. Lee's approval. He felt energetic, focused, and optimistic. He had transformed from a passive patient into an active participant in his own health journey. He continued to share his story, inspiring others to take charge of their health and to question conventional wisdom. He became a powerful advocate for personalized nutrition, emphasizing the importance of individual experimentation and mindful eating. He lived a long and fulfilling life, surrounded by loved ones and fueled by his passion for health and well-being. He remained active, engaged, and curious until his final days. He left behind a legacy of inspiration, reminding us that true health is a journey, not a destination, and that it's never too late to start living a life of vibrant well-being. But amidst all the celebration and success, a lingering question remained, a subtle dissonance in the symphony of Harold's health triumph. While he had successfully managed his oxalate sensitivity and lowered his blood pressure, he occasionally experienced a fleeting, almost imperceptible discomfort in his joints, a subtle ache that seemed to come and go without any discernible pattern. He initially dismissed it as a minor consequence of aging, a mere footnote in the grand narrative of his health transformation. But something about it nagged at him, a whisper of a possibility that perhaps, just perhaps, there was another layer to uncover, another piece of the puzzle to find. Could there be another hidden trigger? Another dietary component silently influencing his well-being, waiting to be discovered? The answer, he suspected, lay not in what he was avoiding, but in something he was still unknowingly consuming. And what that might be remained for now a tantalizing mystery.